We're at Ramona High School. I'm Ghazal, he's Jeff, and we have high school football here in the city of Riverside. The autumn wind, Jeff, is a pirate. Blustering in from sea. Oh, no autumn wind. We're not in autumn.
No,
it's a little windy here at Ram High, but it is not autumn. Welcome back, buddy. Great to see you.
I know it seems like it's been decades since we've called a high school football game, but how wonderful is this? We actually have a season here.
It'll be a truncated season and kind of off kilter in terms of the time. We'll get into that as the broadcast progresses, but for now, it is Ramona High School and Arlington High School facing off in a River Valley League matchup. And Ramona last year, Jeff, as you know, you were an alum of the school. You were very proud of your alma mater. Made it all the way to the Division 13 final. They came within a 2-point conversion. I think it was about 24 seconds left. Dante Roby gets stopped on a 2-point conversion, and Esperanza emerges with the 42-40 victory. But Ken Mashinsky and his Ramona Rams stepping up to come back. And then on the other side, Arlington had a couple of rough years under Jeff Roney. We know the man can coach from back when he was the head coach at La Sierra. I have a feeling they get it turned around this year due to the Lions. They're young, but they come out very athletic this season, and they're going to try a couple of wrinkles on the offensive side of the football.
Well, I'll tell you what, I look forward to it. Arlington, like you said, the record isn't indicative of what kind of coach that they have over there. They've got themselves a gem. Let's see if they can revive this rivalry.
Kick out of bounds at about the 20. Adrian Monhay was back to receive for Ramona. The kickoff by Taylor Damasio for Arlington, and they'll start 1st and 10, will the Rams, from the 35-yard line. The players to watch for Ramona, Jeff, on offense, Diego Muniz was the junior quarterback last year, led them to the Division 13 championship game. He's had a year to grow, a year to mature. Obviously, things are going to be a little bit off because the offseason was affected by the pandemic.
Yeah, and that is going to be the biggest hurdle is what kind of game shape are these players going to be in, and how organized will they be?
Conditioning, both coaches mentioned conditioning was the key that they're looking at. Mooney's up to throw. He's going to go deep to his big playmaker. Monhay reels it in and is out of bounds inside the 30 at about the 25, let's call it the 26-yard line. So a big strike to start off, 41 yards from Diego Muniz to Adrian Monhay, and the Rams are on the move.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to like that. That looked pretty organized. A beautiful throw. He just took that one step back and just threw a perfect dime.
So they marked it at the 30, actually. So call it a 35-yard advance. And here's Romo running between the tackles. Christian Romo is submarine down inside the 30. Looks like the first man there from the inside was Jonathan Carbajal for Arlington.
And, we talked a lot about, Dante Roby was phenomenal. The last couple of years, every time we had him on Riverside TV, he had just giant games. It'll be interesting to see what Ramona has in that backfield this year.
Muniz to throw, trips to the top of your screen. Here comes pressure. Dancing around, buying time, pulls the ball down. He'll just get rid of it, incomplete. Trying to go across the field to help him out was Romo. On the coverage for Arlington was kind of everybody, but Anthony Gonzalez was trailing Romo as Muniz tried to make something happen. There's a flag on the play. Generally on a play like that, it ends up being holding.
And I would have to say it will be a hold. There you go.
So illegal use of hands is the actual
exactly
call, and they'll move it back for the Rams. And we're going to get some of that sloppiness, obviously, because you haven't had the full complement of practices you'd normally have playing game one of the season.
Yeah, you had to start and stop. You were told, hey, we can practice. You were told you can't practice. And you can do all the conditioning in the world, but if you're 6 feet apart from each other, there's not a whole lot of techniques you can really work on against other players. So we could have a little bit of sloppiness here.
Cheerleaders on the track for Arlington doesn't seem like a big deal, but up until I think yesterday it was touch and go as to whether they would be allowed in the stadium as Romo takes the carry up the middle to about the 40. He's pinned back there. A couple of Arlington players around the football, Gabriel Holland among them.
Yeah, I don't know how much practice any of that. I mean, like you mentioned, the cheerleaders here. Yeah, that was yesterday. They weren't allowed. Today they're here. It's nice to see kind of the semblance of normality come back here.
Line is the 40. First down just outside the 20-yard line, so 3rd and 19 Munitz pulls it down. Good coverage downfield. Looking down, he's being pursued. He'll throw the ball inside. Complete at about he'll be short of the first down, but it'll be close.
Good catch there. It looks like the young receiver there catches it and thinks, hey, I can get up and run. He's watched a lot of NFL, probably in college, but in high school, you're down.
So a 15-yard pickup. They have 4th and 3 up on the board, but it looks like if you look at the sticks, it's a long 4. So 4th down from the Arlington 25 for Ramona. Shotgun formation. The misdirection and a first down. Handoff up the middle to Romo. Finally submarine down at the 15-yard line. Demarion Allen makes the tackle for Arlington, and fresh set of downs for the Ramona Rams. Ken Mashinsky takes the offensive play calling over. Adam Gonzalez will be up in the booth actually making the calls, but Coach Mush, very accomplished offensive coach, Jeff.
Great coach. I mean, in fact, he's really taken over and really elevated this program the last couple of years.
Pounding it again with Romo, who gets inside the 5. Another first down. Runs right into the awaiting arms of Demarion Allen. 1st and goal coming up. Well, they're going to mark it outside the 5, so it'll be a 2nd and short.
Demarion Allen already getting his name called a couple times here.
Allen, senior defensive back for the Lions. Here's Bo Bruin, and Bruin powering into the end zone. Is he in? Driving the pile. Touchdown, Ramona. So a nice drive for the Rams, and the young sophomore takes the ball over the end line.
Coach Mush has to like that from the young sophomore.
So a little fire and ice from Ramona. They can light it up down the field, but between Romo and Bruins, they can run between the tackles as well.
Yeah, pretty impressive start here for the Division 13 runner-up.
As you and I know, it all starts with the big boys up front, and they're the ones really kind of setting the tone right now for the Rams. And the PAT makes it a 7-0 game. So an impressive drive to start for the Rams. An interesting situation, and I know you were a little perplexed when you came in. We're playing at Ramona High, but it is an Arlington home game.
Yes, and really the big, it used to be Ramona versus Poly was the big one. Then it became, because they were the first two schools. And then you had North came in, and North and Poly became the big rivalry. Well, just down the street here, Arlington High School opened up, and then it became the Ramona Arlington big matchup. And I'll tell you what, when I went to school here, and when my brother went here at Ramona, that was always the talk. Hey, we're going to play Arlington. And they'd have the big pep rallies, and everybody get into it. This is a big game still for both of these two programs.
It's a little bit of a family affair for us because obviously you're a Ramona alum. Our executive producer, Scott Brocious, he is an Arlington alum. He's right in the booth next to us.
Yeah, and he probably experienced a lot of losses when we were at Ramona, so I just threw a little shade at
He actually told me he never cared about football when he was in school. So.
He was a genius.
Yeah.
He was too busy putting together video packages.
There you go. 7-0 Ramona. Here's the kickoff coming from the Rams. Skips by inside the 10-yard line, picked up by Isaac Gomez. Gomez turns the Jets on. He's over the 25, hurdles just to the 30, and they'll start there. Will Arlington, 1st and 10, the first offensive series of the year for the Lions. You know, we talked about Arlington and tough couple of years. Remember, a couple of years ago they had the run with Rich Lunsford as the head coach. They got into the playoffs. Behind that, they played the unbalanced line kind of double wing thing going on with Jamon McGlory. And it's been tough for them. Jeff Roney took over. He'd been the defensive coordinator. Now the last couple of years he's been the head coach. And we mentioned earlier he was head coach at La Sierra a few years back. Had some success there. Call it the 29. It's a 1st and 10. Handoff to the right side. Driving forward is Christian Bozeman. Bozeman will get up near the 35-yard line, so give him about maybe 4.5 on that. 2nd and 6 coming up. But I want to be sensitive to people for saying this. Let's just say Arlington, and this goes back, maybe when Coach Lunsford was here too, they would get some players poached, and not any schools in Riverside, mind you, but some of the schools you see playing, and I worked for Fox Sports last year. I'm like, whoa, wasn't that a Riverside? Wasn't that an Arlington kid? For some of the schools we covered,
yes,
not mentioning any names here because we're all friends, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure. You play in those the big TV games.
2nd and 7, another tight set. Couple of more yards, closer to the 40-yard line on the run. That looked like Demarion Allen. So keeping it on the ground, keeping the clock moving, a little bit of Roney ball.
Yeah, nice get there by Isaiah Reyes. So he knocked him down there. So pretty good defensive stop there by the Rams.
So you got the running back in the backfield to the right is Christian Bozeman. Quarterback is Mitchell Wood. A little bit of trickeration, does not work. 3 black shirts converge and drop the ball carrier in his tracks. That is Bozeman. Brings up 4th down. They need to get just to the 39, so 4th and 2 coming up for Arlington. What do you think about the black uniforms for Ramona? You like them, Jeff?
I'm a traditionalist. I still love the powder blue navy, but I do like the look. I think it's kind of cool. I still love the Ram helmet, which is phenomenal, but no, I kind of like it. Maybe a little anger from last year's tough loss in the finals. Maybe a little Raider action.
Ball on the turf, still loose. Looks like Reyes gathers it inside the 30-yard line. Ramona football. So a 4th down play, a little bit of a miscue, and hey, you don't want to go too nuts on it, but these teams have not had the full complement of practices, and our white hat makes the signal, Ramona football.
Yeah, in fact, you look at Ika Asau right there, got his hand on the ball, and that's just repetition. I mean, how much of these guys scrimmage, really against each other, let alone other teams? I know they had one scrimmage last week, but they just haven't played enough. There hasn't been enough repetitions. You're going to see a lot of loss, a lot of fumbles and turnovers.
Let's see if they try to go up top to Monhay. Muniz lines it up. They don't go up top. He does look for Adrian Monhay. Steps out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, so maybe 12 yards on that play. I was talking with Ken Mushinski last night about Ika Asau. Big 6'4" guy, defensive lineman, very versatile. He played in that winter circle that was going on earlier this winter and said, hey, he came in really good shape, and that was the focus for Ramona until they could get on the field, Jeff, was their conditioning.
He's 6'4", 210 pounds, and very athletic, as we've seen.
Here comes the pressure. Muniz escapes the first time, but not the second. Looked like the first guy down the smokestack was Mia Lynch, and then a cadre of those scarlet jerseys enveloped Muniz and dropped him back at the 24 for about a 9-yard loss.
Really a great defensive. They funneled that right, kept that ball inside. And I think Mush has always done that. He's always been a pound up the middle, and then he'll throw over the top. He really likes the middle of the field.
You can do so much in the middle of the field. Here's the pump fake by Muniz. Here's the underscreen. This is Monhay, and a good open field tackle there. Approaching was Demarion Allen, and he's kind of been all over the field. Looks like he's the one marking Adrian Monhay.
Yeah, he's definitely spying. He's the guy and has been pretty darn good so far here tonight. And honestly, how excited do you think these guys are just to play in a game? I mean, we could see this level of intensity for 5 games, 5 weeks.
Muniz on the 3rd down play. Complete to the outside, and he'll be tackled right where he caught the football. Tackle on the play made by Xavier Chavez, senior defensive back, and it'll be 4th down.
But you got to think, normally we have a 10-game schedule. Mm-hmm. This year's a 5-game schedule, so
only a league schedule. Correct?
Yeah, only a league schedule. No playoffs, no tournament, no championships. But I bet the level of intensity we're going to see for those 5 weeks is going to be pretty impressive.
I just like the enthusiasm, and it can do a lot for you. As a field goal attempt, it looks like coming up for Ramona.
Kicking number 41, Isaac Conrado.
It's about a 25-yard attempt, low kick. It look like it's going to have enough. And the Arlington defense stands up around the turnover, so they're going to get the ball back. Ramona unable to capitalize on the fumble recovery deep in Arlington territory, Jeff.
Yeah, great defensive stop there from Arlington. And like I said, they're funneling, trying to push them, keep them in the middle of the field, but they are tight. They've got several in the box.
You know, he didn't make the field goal, but do you have a number on the kicker for Ramona? We're dealing with the first week as well in terms of our flow of information.
Yeah, since it is tough, we can't really go down and talk to guys, and we really weren't sure if we were going to be able to even be here, but yes, that is Isaac Conrado.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll get it right when he actually makes the kick next time. So from the 15, check that, from the 20, 1st and 10. Handoff inside and upended, little helicopter drop, nominal gain on the play. Getting up from the bottom of the pile, that's Allen, Demarion Allen, doing it on both sides. Maybe lost a yard on the play. Second down coming up for Arlington. 7-0. We tick down near 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Ghazal Hassan, Jeff Gorin with you. High school football is back, folks. River Valley League action from Ram High. The color and pageantry of high school football in Riverside. You hear the cheer crew. Limited attendance allowed in the stands. Here's the handoff. Fighting through a couple of tackles over the 20-yard line. About a 3-yard pickup for Raymond Warhop. Making the run on that play. Third down coming up. So Warhop goes down. So I like what I've seen early on from Arlington on offense. I haven't really had a big play, but you see what they're building towards. A little bit of misdirection and movement, trying to kind of find their place. Ramona 7, Arlington nothing. Third down and 7 play from the 22. Play action, rolling right, throwing to the right side. Complete for the first down at about the 35. Making the reception is Reed Van Leerop.
Yeah, it looks like a late hit there. That's going to go against the Rams.
You know, it's interesting because we got the roster from Arlington, and they have maybe 35 guys on the varsity roster. A hold on the Rams, so Arlington will get a little bit of a boost added to the end of that play.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems is with and then really not a problem because they're actually playing sports, but you have a lot of sports playing in the same season.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose a lot of players that they have to choose. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably, you have basketball starting, you have baseball all at the same time.
Yeah, there was a baseball and a softball game going on when we arrived at campus today. All the way to midfield, and somebody forgot the snap count. We'll move it 5 yards back. False start on the Lions.
But we've already had games. We had a game last night in the River Valley League. We had Norte Vista played. Patriot won 62-0.
They're running some power over there, Jeff. Were you at the game? Did you watch any of it?
I talked to Ken Batdorf, head coach, and I tell you what, the toughest thing for him is he wanted this season. He has such a great team, and really, this is the Super Bowl every single week for these young teams.
Trying to find the edge. Now he cuts it upfield and gets buried under is Christian Bozeman. And again, Ramona showing us kind of the same defensive pluck they've shown us since Ken Mashinsky had been there. They're not, it's funny. They're bigger this year than they've been in past years, but it's that fly to the football attitude. New defensive coordinator for the Rams, Aaron Berry, comes over. He's in Azusa Pacific, played at Azusa Pacific. He actually played at Paris High. And they're going to do a lot of man coverage on the outside. They're going to blitz a lot and just be very aggressive, is what Coach Mashinsky told me.
And talking with Mashinsky last year and covering the Rams, that was his big question mark, was the defensive. And I'll tell you what, they got him in the CIF championship.
Yeah. First down would be to the 40 of Ramona. Here's Wood rolling. Wood throwing. Overthrows incomplete. Intended receiver was Reed Van Leerop. A couple of key defensive players. We mentioned Ika Esau already. Isaiah Reyes has been around the football a good amount. Alex Martinez, good cover corner downfield. He wears number 25 today. And Ray Valdez, made a play earlier. He's one of the seniors. He's going to kind of be hybrid, a little bit of a defensive back, maybe come up and plug against the run. Very sure-handed tackler for the Rams. Handoff inside, twisting down at about the 47-yard line. So maybe a 5-yard pickup on the play.
Brought down by number 90, Richard Gallo.
I'll tell you what, you look at the size of these defensive ends from Ramona. You got Castaneda, who's 6'3", 220. Man, Arlington's going to have to go inside because they're jumping every single time. Their defensive ends are right there. It'd be tough for them to go outside at all.
Raymond Warhop with the carry and the 4th down coming up, which necessitates a punt from Arlington. So line is the 42. Back to receive is Ray Valdez, and he'll let it skip past him inside the 10-yard line, and it'll be downed inside the 10 by Arlington. So 7-0 still Ramona, but a nice job the first time the Arlington defense took the field. Now a little bit more of an advantageous position for them. They can set their offense up if they can stop Ram High here, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, we've seen it. We saw it here in the last position. Great stop. Let's see if they can hold the Rams. Let's see if the Rams will continue to try to go up the middle here with 90-plus yards here.
I want to remind you, if you have questions about COVID and COVID testing, go to riversideca.gov/testing. You can answer all your questions about it. Plenty of opportunities in the city of Riverside. If you need to get tested, there are plenty of spaces around the city you can get tested. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff inside. The initial line of scrimmage that was down originally at the 5-yard line. Maybe a couple on that play. Carrying the ball there, Christian Romo.
I've been to a couple of those testing centers, driven through, and you wait in line. You're expecting a cheeseburger or something cool, but they rub that swab on you, and you go out and you feel good.
So 5-yard pickup. He got to about the 10-yard line on that one. Some movement up front, Arlington. Looks like Jonathan Carbajal might have jumped. So the 5 more yards, close to a 1st down. They need to get up to the 20. So they move to the 15. Another run inside. And this time he emerges from the crowd. A little space for Romo and lost the ball at the 25, but I think he was down. Still fighting for it. That's what you teach your players to do, and the whistle did blow. So let's see where they spot it.
A little reminiscent of Dante Roby, if you saw him. He got low, treads those feet.
Number 34.
And a great move from that young man. Looks like they've got
Number 15, Xavier.
have those two backs they like.
So call it, they got a 1st down on the play up to the 36-yard line. 20-yard run by Romo. This is Bruins finding some space, picking his way to midfield, still on his feet. Finally brought down in Arlington territory at the 46. So another run close to 20 yards. 18 unofficially on that one, and the sticks move up again for Ram High.
A lot of Lions in on that tackle.
So no Dante Roby. It's going to be running back by committee. And we've seen Christian Romo and Bo Bruins today for Ramona. They're picking up right where Roby left off last year.
Yeah, and Roby was a tough guy, man. He had broken arm at one point, was playing out there.
Bruins running left. He's got some room.
Number 9 again on the
And he's taken down inside the 30, ball all the way to the 27, as we're under a minute to play here in the 1st quarter. Demarion Allen, another tackle for Arlington. So the offensive line, the big boys up front from Ramona, really getting a big push. Offensive line, of course, anchored by Jason Lopez at center. And they're running left behind Amari Wiley. Wiley playing this year, didn't play last year, played baseball. But he's anchoring the left side of that offensive line for Ramona. Here comes Bruin in motion. Here's the little tunnel screen to the right side. They go the opposite way. He'll get down to the 25-yard line. First down for Ramona will be inside the 20.
Good tackle there by Arturo Carranza.
Jeff Roney out on the field. He wants to have a word with one of the officials. Stop the clock with 9.5 seconds to play in the first quarter. For all the power and fury in the first half, Jeff, just 7-0 Ram High.
Yeah, we've already almost come to the close here.
Second down from the 25, so call it a 2nd and 6. First down to the 19 of Arlington, and first quarter comes to an end. And it's 7-0 Ram High here in the opener. So high school football in Riverside, our first broadcast here on Riverside TV. I'm Ghazal, he's Jeff. Great to be back with you, Jeff. Great to be back watching some high school football.
And I'll tell you what, being in the bubble, I felt like the boy in the bubble for the last year. And you and I have talked. We've talked quite a bit. Man, I was jonesing for some high school football more than anything you can imagine, and I never thought it was going to happen.
And the sad part is for me is I kind of let it go. I said, you know what? It's one of those unfortunate things. We've lost a lot of things because of the pandemic. And I just felt for the kids. I felt for the students. You're a senior who wants to play your senior year and you don't get a chance to. That's an opportunity you never get again. There's some people you and I know that did 3 senior years, but it doesn't really happen anymore.
No, exactly. But, man, I got up this morning giddy and thinking, hey, we've got football. It's not the fall, but it's still one of the happiest moments. I just couldn't sleep. And I heard from Ken Batdorf last night, and he's telling me about his game, and my gosh, it just feels wonderful. And the nice thing is just to see all these young men, women, families out here enjoying getting to see their children play. That's the one thing that we missed for the last year.
So from the 25, here's the handoff. This is Romo fighting close to a first down.
34 the carry.
Ridden down on the play by Xavier Rideout and Xavier Chavez.
Number 32, Xavier Rideout.
So looks like he's just short of the first down, Jeff. The nose of the ball resting on the 20. They need to push forward to the 19 for the first down. 7-0 Ramona. We've just started here in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us on Riverside TV. Romo and Bruins in the backfield. Monhay split out wide to the right side. Muniz looking back towards Ken Mushinski, the head coach of Ramona. Third and short. Here's the play. Here comes the pressure. Dancing is Muniz. He'll have the first down. Tucks it under, down to the 10-yard line.
Number 5 on the keeper, Diego Muniz.
Tackle made there by Taylor Damasio, and a fresh set of downs for Ram High.
Man, good read there from the quarterback. Just getting it past the first down, taking a shot there.
And you talk to coaches, and they'll tell you, football is the one sport where you really cannot replicate game speed in practice. It's very difficult.
You just can't. And like I said, they've been told they can play. They can't play.
Bruins up the middle. He's bent back. A cadre of tacklers there.
And based on what county you're in, I mean, you've been able to practice. But, the city of Riverside, it's just been tough. Like, talking to coach, they were told, hey, we can practice. Then you can't.
Yeah, and the other side of it is, I was talking to Ken Mushinski, and he's just a real straight shooter. It's a second down play from inside the 10-yard line. An offside whistled on Arlington. They'll move the ball a little bit closer. The ball moved down to the 5-yard line. And he said, I wasn't going to do anything outside of the rules. Whatever you think about, all the regulations. He said, I decided I was just going to go by what the regulations we were told. And some schools did and some schools did, but he did not want to put that kind of pressure on his kids. And Bruins up the middle, untouched by human hand. Touchdown, Ramona.
And there's that up the middle that Coach Mushinski loves, and running off those big tackles.
Well, if you had Jason Lopez in the middle of your offensive line, you'd run behind him too, Jeff.
I might be able to get a few yards.
So 13-0, the PAT upcoming for Ramona. And getting back to the conversation we had with Ken Mushinski, he just said, hey, I just went strictly by the book. October 1st we started conditioning. and there was regulation as to how you could do it. They did a lot of it over Zoom,
Yes.
And PAT attempt coming up for Ramona. Hold is down. The kick is up. Oh, and it doinks off the left upright.
Isaac
No good.
Conrado.
So poor Isaac, no luck for him today.
Not
Hopefully he'll
tonight.
turn around. There's plenty of game left, 13-0 Ram High. But so he was telling me, when we got so basically, they had their regimen for conditioning, and then it was a question of getting out on the field, and there was the question of when can you put helmets on. And so he said, we did the best we could, and here we are in March, and we're going to do what we can. He did expect a couple of things. He thought there might be some issues with tackling, and in terms of the physical play. He said teams, if you're experienced, you have obviously a lot more, you'll have an advantage because you'll have gone through that. And I think he said he had 5 starters back on both offense and defense, which means now those kids who were sophomores and juniors last year have to step up.
For the Rams, number 41, Isaac Carando.
Here's the kickoff. Little pooch kick to the right side. Fair catch called. And he actually made the catch. That was Reed Van Leerop. I've liked what I've seen from him today. And that's where Arlington starts their offense, the 37-yard line. They'll have 63 yards to traverse if they want to get to the end zone.
And remember, when you say practice, it's not a typical practice. You have to do the temperature checks, and you can't use your locker room, so you've got to come dressed to practice.
Yeah.
I've been around the high schools here in Riverside, and you see kids walking around in their pads, walking to practice. It's a different vibe, especially on these campuses.
But here's the other thing is a guy like Ken Mashinsky, he's been around the block a few times, not his first rodeo. He just said, listen, I know we're going to be behind, but the kids are excited to play, so let's go get it, and then we'll work what we need to work when we get on the field. 1st and 10. Here's the direct snap, little wildcat formation, weaving up to the 45-yard line for about an 8-yard gain is Isaac Gomez. 2nd and short coming up for Arlington.
Nice little play call in there.
Isaac Gomez.
His old Chan Gailey back in the old days with the Miami Dolphins with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. Texas Longhorn.
Puts the ball on the 44-yard line.
Who would have ever thought we would have had the March Madness and high school football going on at the same time?
Yeah, how about that? My guy Terrell Gomez is playing for San Diego State. Your guy too, Matt Mitchell,
Matt
right?
Mitchell.
So we're both rooting for the Los Aztecas. Little misdirection and just a little bit of a bobble. That's the kind of stuff you're going to see. Bozeman, the timing a little bit off, gives the defense a little bit of an edge and a loss. Back to about the 43. It'll still be 3rd and manageable. 1st down up to the 48-yard line for the Lions.
And that's just repetition. They haven't had those reps.
Yep. Third down and short coming up. The Ramona defense mentioned they do have a new defensive coordinator, Aaron Berry, stepping in on Coach Mashinsky's staff. Ken Mashinsky in his 4th season. Tight set for Arlington. They've been running tight all game. They had some success with the Wildcat. They'll go to it again. Similar success, a 1st down for the Lions. Crossing into Ramona territory is Isaac Gomez, and they'll move the sticks.
Stop by number 6, Diego Munoz.
And that's what you want to do. We talked about the struggles of Arlington the last couple of years. Keep the ball on the ground. Keep the ball moving. Ideally, theoretically, you want to keep moving it forward 3 yards on a cloud of dust, and then you keep the clock kind of moving, and you get the defense out there. Defense made a stop earlier. They turnover deep in Arlington territory, and they were able to play around the turnover as they missed the field goal.
Oh, I like what they're doing. They're running off the big fellas. Greg McDaniel there. Offensive tackle really opened that hole in that last play.
Big fella Sami Abdul-Majid, the center in the middle, also providing some good push up the middle. And finally, they solve it a little bit. Got a 5-yard gain on the play.
Number 8 on the carry.
Another
Isaac
run
Gomez. Stop
by
number
Isaac
10,
Gomez. Seems to be comfortable running up inside. So second, call it. We'll call it 5. They need to get to the other side of the 35 to the 34. Clock moving. Ramona leads 13-0. Opener between Arlington and Ramona, River Valley League. Arlington dominated this series for the most part. They played in a couple of different leagues. They were in the Old Ivy. They were in the Inland Valley. Since the River Valley League has come together, it's been kind of a Ramona party. Initial contact, he bounces off it, still on his feet and finally flung back.
That's right. This is the first year we've had Arlington in the River Valley League.
Stop by number 6, Isaiah Reyes.
So Reyes making the hit on Bozeman to drop him in third down coming up.
Just relax, man.
In fact, you and I have called a couple of these rivalry games over the years.
Not last year, but a couple years ago I think we did. Imagine, these are two coaches that have been around the city of Riverside. Kmishinski, of course, with King High, and then he went down to Irvine and Coach Beckman before coming back and taking the Ram job. We talked about Coach Roney being at La Sierra. He was also an assistant at Poly. 3rd and 4. Gomez trying to find some space, and a gang tackle there close to the marker.
Isaac Gomez on the carry.
Let's see what the officials rule here. Obviously, there was a Ramona player that emerged with the football, but
No gain.
going to call it 4th down. The ball is going to be ruled down at the 35. About a yard and a half for the first down if Arlington wants to come back out on the field.
I want to recall, didn't we have a great Arlington game with McGlory? Was it McGlory?
Arlington North a couple years ago.
Do you remember
yeah.
that game? Was fantastic.
Rich Lunsford won it. He went for the 2-point conversion.
That's right. Was it Jamon McGlory?
Jamon McGlory. Yeah,
He
we
was
saw it last year at RCC.
I got to call those games. You know what? And that was the toughest thing is I wanted to come watch Ramona in the CIF finals last year, but I had to call the game for the national championship.
There you go.
At RCC. I came out and spoke to the team last year prior to the game.
And Ramona and RCC had both last won a title in '89, correct?
Correct.
Am I right?
Yes.
A little Riverside history. Here we go. 4th down. Flags come in.
In fact, I want to thank Coach Mashinsky. In fact, the championship day of the game, I got to come speak at the pre-game dinner. He probably should have had someone else speak. They ended up losing by 2, but I'll tell you what, what a great season and for Riverside all around. National champs, 89, and last year for Riverside City College, and last year with Ramona. I remember the last time Ramona was in the championship. They tied with Damien. In fact, the 2 championships they had were both ties with Damien High School. Ties, but still champs.
It was great to be. I got to call the game for Fox Sports Prep Zone last year here, the Division 13 title, and it was great.
Well, that's right.
Knowing Coach Mashinsky and being here, and then Wes Choate, remember who we knew. Here's the throw down the field, and it's complete. Nice catch at about the 25-yard line. A first down coming up. An absolute dime from Mitchell Wood to Xavier Chavez.
Beautiful play there.
Stop by number 23.
So you move the sticks up. First down to the 24. That's a little Roney ball for you. Putting the ball in the air, a little trickeration there on 4th down.
Yeah, perfect throw right over the shoulder. But yeah, you did get to call that game last year.
I think it's 40 seconds left. Mashinsky rolls the dice, goes for 2, and what a great stop. I mean, you got Roby, a runaway train, and a great stop in the end zone by Esperanza. Another stop there by Ramona. Handoff to Demarion Allen, runs right into the hands of a defender for Ram High.
Stop by number 10.
They'll mark it at the 25, loss of about a yard. So we hope you're having fun. It's high school football in Riverside. I know everybody's watching March Madness.
No,
So
they're
you got-
watching us. What are you talking
You got
about?
March Madness on the TV. You got us on the laptop, or maybe the other way around. Do you still do picture in picture?
I never knew how to do it anyways.
Okay.
That was beyond me. It's like I've become that dad now because I'm not an old guy or anything.
No, you're spry, my friend.
I am spry, but it's sad when my 4-year-old knows how to use the TV remote better than I do for sure. It's rough. I feel like that old guy. Like I can't play video games. Remember the Atari? We had the joystick. They don't have a joystick anymore. They got buttons all over the place.
It's all buttons, yeah. Those old football games, electronic football games from like 1986. They were
The
best.
Mattel Electronics Football 1 and 2 and baseball. You remember those games. You and I are about the same age.
Electronic quarterback. The Lions call timeout here, 2nd and long, 4:02 to play in the second quarter. Gazal and Jeff reminiscing, going down memory lane. But no, it's interesting. It's funny because I have a relatively new TV, and I was goofing around. I was with our friend Steve Went. I was goofing around. I had a basketball game on with The Fugitive on in the upper right-hand corner. Steve loves the movie The Fugitive. And he said, wow, that's old school. I said, what are you talking about? My TV's 6 months old, but I guess nobody uses picture-in-picture anymore.
I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to do it. I have all these. I don't have cable anymore. I have all these different.
Right, you have all the streaming things, right? And it costs you the same amount.
Exactly. Just more buttons.
2nd and 12. Here's the give. And runs again. Nice job by the interior of that defense. Reyes has his nose around the football. Surprise, surprise. 3rd down coming up.
And number 36 as well, Kyle Potter.
Yeah, I remember going to school here and going to games, and afterwards you go down the street to all these places that are now defunct.
Where was the place? It's out of business, so we don't have to worry about it.
Noggles.
Where was the
Noggles.
But they're bringing Noggles back.
They are bringing it, but it's in Orange County. It's not Noggles if it's in Orange County. It's a Riverside thing.
3rd down. Here we go. Tucking it under. Staying on his feet. Mitchell Wood does a nice job. He eluded a Reyes tackle. He won't get the 1st down, but he gets a lot closer than I thought he would. He's inside the 20. Let's see how Coach Roney plays this as the clock moving to 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. I would imagine they have to go for it, Jeff.
Of course you do.
13-0 Ram High. Ramona leads Arlington. River Valley League clash. That's true. I had to think about it for a second. Is Arlington in the River Valley? And they are this year.
Yeah.
They are this year. The re-leaguing. Who left? So who left?
Harupa, Supa Dupa Harupa.
Harupa, okay. 4th down.
And we've got a flag in the play, folks.
So remember, they had a 4th and short, which got pushed because of a penalty. They ended up getting the 1st down there as quarterback Mitchell Wood threw a strike to Xavier Chavez and a flag down on the floor. Timeout.
No penalty.
They're going to decline the penalty. Timeout called by Arlington here with 2:38 to play in the second quarter.
Well, it feels like it's fall. It's chilly up here.
The autumn wind is a pirate. God, I love John Facenda. So we were both just in Vegas, and we both stayed across the street.
We got to get that COVID testing. I'll tell you what, students, teachers, coaches, and faculty members, as they head back to campus, let's make sure everyone stays safe from the COVID-19. Fortunately, Riverside has numerous locations within the city to provide at no cost some oral swab testing. It's easy. Oral swab is easy, better than the nasal one. Oh, I had that done. You'll receive results within 24 to 48 hours directly to your phone. Make sure you and your loved ones are healthy and stay healthy and safe so we can all keep moving in the right direction. For location information, visit riversideca.gov/testing. I'm vaccinated, buddy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So 4th and 6. It's a 13-0 game. Arlington, they can stay on the field here, can make it interesting. Mitchell Wood rolling to his right. He'll dump it off. Incomplete. Hits the floor.
Pass is incomplete.
And the ball goes over on downs to Ramona. Trying to get the ball to his outlet, just couldn't quite do it. I've been impressed by what I've seen from Mitchell Wood tonight.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far, to say the least. But yeah, I was telling you, I got vaccinated, and my children are young, and we've all been in the home for the last year. And so when I got vaccinated, my kids thought I was a superhero.
But you are a superhero, though.
In their eyes, I am.
Well, you're a superhero. You just don't wear leotard under your shirt anymore.
Not anymore.
That's the old days.
I still wear bike shorts, though.
From the 19, it's a 1st and 10. Muniz loads it up, steps up, throws the ball down the field, complete at the 45, and all the way down to the 45 of Arlington. So a strike, 36-yard completion. and Ramona on the move.
Demarion Allen.
And there's that middle of the field we've talked about with Coach Mush.
Basketball, if you're playing defense, they want you to get the ball out of the middle of the field.
Yes.
Football, you're playing defense, do not
Yes.
allow a catch over the middle. The middle of the field is valuable. It's like Dogecoin, whatever it is.
Is that, yeah, I don't understand that at all either. That's another thing.
Oh, you
that's-
got to get on that, Jeff. Mooney's with a quick throw to the outside. This is Monhay dancing at the 40 to the 36. Good tackle on the outside. Monhay, I thought, might get around the defender, but Isaac Gomez there, step for step with him and brings him down. Another first down, those sticks move up.
Was that Bitcoin or whatever you were talking about?
Well, Bitcoin, there's Dogecoin,
Wait, what?
and there's XRP, and there's VeChain. There's all this stuff. You
How
got
do
to
you
get,
know
you got to
these
get
things?
on the blockchain, my friends.
I don't know.
Listen, you know, Fast Johnny will tell you. Talk to Fast Johnny. I bet you he knows. Again, right up the middle. This is Romo. Romo pounding down inside the 20-yard line. Look at those offensive linemen get upfield for Ramona. You got to wait for the ball carrier because if you go too early, they'll throw a flag.
Yeah.
17 yards on that play for Romo. Clock continues to move. The Rams could put another stick on the board. Remember, it looked like Arlington might get in the end zone, and now it looks like the Rams are driving a couple of big plays.
Yeah, and Arlington really still in this ball game. Down 13-0 here. If they can make a stop.
And they've been able to move the ball between the 20s once they get, to that red zone.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a funny story about the red zone. So, we know it's the red zone, right?
of course.
So our good friend John Ramey, who works up in Reno for the Wolfpack, the color for the University of Nevada is blue. Okay.
They call it the blue zone.
Their rival is who? UNLV.
Yeah, that's right.
What is their color?
Red.
They call it the blue zone. You got it. They call it the blue zone. They don't call it the red zone.
Blue's better, anyways.
I like blue too. My high school was blue. My colleges were both blue.
I have a great Arlington story when I was a kid.
Did you almost go to Arlington?
No. My dad was coaching. He's a Hall of Famer in Riverside, and he was coaching at Norte Vista, I think, at this time. And they were playing Arlington, and I remember getting on the bus, and I said, what team are you guys? I was little, and this is how they found out I was colorblind. I said, Dad, why are you playing who's the brown team? And he said, son, that's not brown. There's something wrong with you. And then I said, well, are they green? No, there's something wrong with you. No, son, they're red.
1st and 10 from the 18. Whistles. And he stops.
So when you do say what did you say? What was the color? Since I'm
Scarlet.
Scarlet. See, it would either be green or brown, or it could be chartreuse.
That's got to be challenging to call games when you're colorblind.
Sometimes,
or
but-
you can fake it. You're old enough now where you can kind of fake it, right?
Oh, I've learned to fake it. See, that's why I went to private school. I went to Catholic school. Went to Our Lady Perpetual Help here down the street, and we wore brown pants, corduroys, and a white shirt. So I never really had to worry about matching until I came to high school.
Right.
And then when I came to high school, I had to dress myself. So basically, it was like Garanimals. I had to get these things that they would match together.
From the 23, it's now 1st and 15 as the flag on Ramona. Here comes the pressure on Muniz. He gets away from the first rush, but he cannot elude the next one. Anthony Gutierrez makes the tackle, and they push the Rams back even further. Loss, they're going to mark it. They're going to mark it back to the 34.
Boy, those bigs from Arlington.
Now, defensively, Coach Roney plays a very unique defensive scheme. Down the right side of the field, one-on-one, incomplete, intercepted. Picked off by Demarion Allen. He's been around the ball all night, bringing the ball back up, and now it looks like the ball's loose on the field again. Ramona's saying they have it. Arlington's saying they have it, but the official has not signaled as of yet. I think Arlington's going to keep this football. The officials consulting just behind the play. And they look like they're confused. 4 officials kind of seeing who saw what.
I'm confused. It looked like a perfect pass. I couldn't tell if it went off the hands and popped up.
And they're still trying to figure out who has the football.
But Allen, though, smart enough to pick it off.
So it's a hold on Arlington.
Holding on defense.
And
They're going to give it to Ramona, it
that
looks
whole
like.
incredible play. So they're going to decline the hold. Wait a minute. This is confusing.
Well, I hear on the replay, but man, Allen, the ball hit right off of the shoulder pad.
And that's a tremendous play by Allen. I like what I've seen from Demarion Allen all day. A great pick there, one-on-one against a great receiver, but wiped away because of the penalty.
Basically, Ramona gets the ball back.
And the ball goes back to Ramona, second down. And they'll keep it on the ground here. This is Bo Bruins sweeping to the left side. He gets decleated, and a flag comes in on the play.
Number 9
Combining on the tackle for Ramona, Arturo Carranza and Xavier Chavez. So this is going to be marked off against Ramona. We're under a minute to play here. Well, tell you what, the last 3 minutes of this half have been fairly exciting. We've seen a lot here on the field, Jeff.
A lot. I mean, just precision passes, the bounce off the shoulder pads, and just a lot of movement. Heck, Arlington had the ball there for a minute. Looked like they were going the other way.
Here's a jailbreak coming in. Muniz flings it up, and it's picked off. Interception at about the 28-yard line. Stealing it away is Raymond Warhop. So Warhop with the pick for Arlington. So the Lions will have about 42 seconds to try to mount some resistance. They trail 13-0.
Yeah, if you're Ramona, just get outside the sticks. Go down. Don't throw it away here. Giving an opportunity to the Lions.
So a couple of big plays here on this drive. You know, Ramona looked like they were going to make this a 3-score game. But first Demarion Allen and then Raymond Warhop both coming up with defensive plays to thwart the offense for Ramona. And now Arlington has the football. Let's see what they do. Mitchell Wood back to throw. Pressure. Being chased. He'll tuck it under. And he'll dance out of bounds to 33. Pick up about a 14-yard gain, and it'll be a first down.
Brings the ball out on the 34-yard
Smart
line.
play from
35 seconds left in this half.
Mitchell Wood there.
And boy, do we have some
Getting out of bounds.
halftime.
Stops the clock as well with 35 seconds to play. So Wood, again with some pressure, stepping up. He'll throw across the field. Complete to the 42. Allen again, Demarion Allen.
He's catching them on offense and defense.
All over the field, 26 seconds the clock ticks as they reset the sticks for the first down. Wood throwing the ball downfield, and that'll be picked. That's Alex Martinez on the coverage, picks it off. It'll be Ramona football with 15 and a half seconds to play here in the first half. So trading interceptions, the Rams and the Lions.
And this is what we talked. I talked a little bit with some of the local coaches. I said, "Hey, are we going to see a flag football situation at times, or is this like a 7-on-7 passing tournament?" He says, "Hey, you're going to see a lot of the passing tournament kind of situations we've seen here in the last few possessions from both teams, and that's just from not playing. That's the toughest thing is playing in practice, playing in games, repetition, and you're going to have plays like this all game."
So now Ramona football again. What do you do if you're Coach Mush? You try to put something on the board here, or just hand the ball off and take it to the locker room?
I say you try to do something with your running backs. You use an offensive line. Just try to get something.
We've seen a lot of flags are marking it off here. And listen, the officials, too, they got to get up to speed as well. They really haven't had a lot of preparation.
And they're shorthanded because there's so many sports going on.
Right.
You have some of these Riverside City teams are playing at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You got Riverside Poly playing Citrus Hill at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. It's like Riverside Junior Tackle Football, the old days.
Ramona scrimmaged against Poly. They did have a scrimmage, and I know Arlington had a scrimmage as well. So they both had a week to kind of get the kinks out. But, when you haven't had the full complement of practices, it's almost secondary.
Yeah, and with all of the different summer leagues and so forth, the passing leagues, those things have been thrown out the door.
So it looks like there wasn't a pick. It was an incomplete pass because Arlington got the ball back. This is also incomplete. It was a penalty against Ramona, so the interception was wiped off, and they marked a penalty off, and now second down coming up with 10 seconds to play. Another shot at the end zone for the Lions here. And since we've been covering them, the Lions have really been a run-first team, correct?
Yes, they have been. Well, you've had great running backs.
Yeah. Coach Mack, who's here, Pat McCarthy, he goes back to the old Kirk Baruch days, and then Rich Lunsford also ran a running offense. Dancing is Mitchell Wood, directing traffic. Now he'll just tuck it under and step out of bounds with 2.5 seconds to play. And that's great. He showed some good pocket savvy there, understanding that, hey, I need to get the ball into the end zone. I need to get out of bounds to get us another play. And he did.
And that's twice he's done that here in the last couple series. He just gets out of bounds at the right time. I'm talking about Pat McCarthy, who's no longer coaching at King High School, but thoughts and prayers are going to him as he had some health issues during this time.
Such a nice man.
Great guy.
Such a nice man. Good coach, too. So a field goal attempt coming up here. This is a 36-yard attempt coming up off the foot of Taylor Damasio. Kicking out of the hold. Is that Gomez? Indeed it is. Isaac Gomez. Watch for the fake. Hold is down. Kick is up. And it's no good. So no time ran off the clock. That was interesting. So it'll be one play for Ramona to come out and finish it. Now, that's what Jeff Roney's asking the officials.
Yep, they're going to give him halftime.
So that's the end of the first half. 13-0 Ramona against Arlington. Thoughts, Jeff Gorham?
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. You start off pretty solid, but as it gets going, it's just a repetition of playing, in a game situation. You're going to be sloppy. And as your legs get tired, your brain gets tired, you're going to have a lot of missteps. But overall, pretty clean, I thought. We're at 8 o'clock an hour for our first half. For the first game of the year, I say it's pretty successful. Ramona did what they were supposed to do, running the ball up the middle. And Roney is showing that Arlington has improved very much in the last couple of years.
13-0, Ramona leads Arlington. I'm Ghazal. He's Jeff. Thanks for joining us. Riverside TV, our initial broadcast this year of CIF High School Football, the game of the week. We'll have hopefully a couple of them next week as well, but it's great to be back in the booth. Great to see football again in the city of Riverside.
It's the best, and honestly, it's been a long time in coming. And like you said, it's all for the high school kids. Just to be back for these. Think of the seniors. Think of these kids that left last year. They missed their the seniors last year missed their senior prom, and they thought that all hope was lost for the school year. And look, we're back on the field. We're back in school here next week at RUSD, and I'll tell you, things are looking good here in Riverside.
And to steal a line from Joe Starkey, the cheerleaders are on the field.
They are.
They're on the field here at Arlington. Didn't think it would happen. At halftime, 13-0, Ram High leads Arlington. Jeff and I will step aside momentarily. We'll come back and we'll bring you the second half here on Riverside TV.
ask the Golden Girls dance team to come on out to the field.
Is he foot calling shots or?
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431.
And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right.
Mask up, Riverside.
We mask up to keep our community safe.
Let's do our part to keep everyone safe. I wear my mask to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
I mask up.
I mask up.
I mask up to keep not just myself safe, but the elderly and family members affected.
I mask up so I can be there for my patients.
We mask up
so we can hug our grandbabies again.
I mask up because when you need help, I need to be able to respond. I wear my mask
to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Because my immune system is compromised.
Because it's easy.
Mask up, Riverside, so we can get back to normal.
Mask up, Riverside, so we can get married.
I mask up to keep myself safe and to keep everyone else safe.
I mask up for me, for you, and
to keep my family safe.
I wear my mask to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Add your phone. Stop the spread, California. Get COVID-19 exposure alerts. Help protect your community while maintaining your privacy. Go to canotify.ca.gov today.
Agrega tu teléfono California, detén la propagación, recibe alertas de exposición a COVID-19, ayuda a proteger a tu comunidad mientras mantienes tu privacidad. Ve a canotify.ca.gov hoy.
Today is our very first building of a Little Free Pantry. We are building a Little Free Pantry in our community. It will be one of the 26 throughout Riverside that will help fill the gaps of food scarcity here in Riverside. Data is telling us now that 1 in 6 families are hungry. It's about 44% of adults and about 50% of children that are hungry here within our own neighborhood, in our own backyard.
Because of the pandemic, there's a lot of hunger out there. There's a lot of families in need, and we hope that this will act as a bridge until families are able to get the food that they need. I think that there are always those times where we are living paycheck to paycheck and we need just a few cans of something to get us by. So these little pantries will serve in that capacity, and we're really excited to see something that will help families in need.
And this has been a wonderful collaboration with the Riverside Mutual Aid Network, IEHP, here at Sandals Church, and the City of Riverside. So this has been a fantastic opportunity for community members to step up and to fill a real void in our city, which is food insecurity. So the idea is that if one of these free little pantries in your neighborhood, you could stock it as frequently or as infrequently as you want to. And the idea behind it is that when people have extra food, it doesn't go to waste.
These pantries are just kind of the first step, right, for reintroducing neighbors back to each other, getting folks involved in taking care of each other again, and just strengthening those community bonds that Riverside is so known for. Because things like food drives and food distributions, they're really good, but they only help folks in that moment of need. And we wanted to create something that would continue giving back 5, 10, 15 years from now, and really allow the community to get back into taking care of each other, instead of maybe relying on, just government or nonprofit structures to kind of take care of them.
If others want to follow suit, they can apply at riversideca.gov/cares as an application, or they can email us at neighbor@riversideca.gov to receive an application to host a little free pantry in their neighborhood.
Add your phone. Stop the spread, California. Get COVID-19 exposure alerts. Help protect your community while maintaining your privacy. Go to canotify.ca.gov today.
Ramona High School, 13-0. Ram High. I was about to say the home team, but
It's
Ramona's not the home team. Ramona High with the lead over Arlington. I'm Ghazal Hassan. He's Jeff Gorham. Back with the CIF Game of the Week on Riverside TV. It's like we never left. No, it actually was like we left and were away for a long time and came back.
I was cryogenically frozen for this last year. I woke up last week, and my wife said, "You've missed a plague." And I went, "What?" But look at me. I'm telling you, it's great to be back.
You're like a 6'8" version of Walt Disney.
Or Ted Williams.
That's right. That's right. Is that true? I thought it was an urban legend. Ted Williams was cryogenically frozen.
No, I don't know. I don't even know if
I know
Walt
his
Disney.
daughter wanted to do that.
I want to do it. I want to wake up in the next century and figure out what's going on.
What'd you think of your alma mater in the first half, Jeff?
All things considered, I thought they did fairly well. Both of these teams, I thought, did fairly well. It's not a high-scoring game, which means it's a competitive game. But it was a little sloppy as the game went on. Like I said previously, I think it was just because of the conditioning, the non-play. I mean, you haven't played a game, and I'm sure the scrimmage were cut short.
So and I had this conversation with Ken Mashinsky, and I know a lot of coaches have kind of chimed in on it. So, they're going to play the 5-week season starting this week. So they'll take you to the end of April. Now, normally you're playing spring ball in April, right? They talk about championship drill in January, the weightlifting January, February, and March. Then in April you got spring ball. Then you're up and practicing. Then you leave school and you come back. And that was an interesting conversation because he said, we're going to play, and then I'm going to give them some time off. And then depending on what we're allowed to, again, this is all about regulation.
Yes.
But Coach Mashinsky was saying he was kind of leaning towards, he's like, I obviously want them to keep up their conditioning, their running, and the weightlifting. But he's going to make the decision because he doesn't know what the regulations are at this point, right? But he was leaning towards, you know what, at the end of the year, kind of letting them, go do what you were going to do with your family. Some families will take vacations or get out of town or whatnot, and then trying to kind of come back and re-up it in July, and then obviously you put pads on a couple of weeks later and get going that way and just kind of let it happen what happens. Isaiah Conrado ready to kick it away for Ramona. Back deep for Arlington, Isaac Gomez and Christian Bozeman. Squib kick and whistles.
I like that, though. I mean, like you said, spend some time with your family. Hey, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to Disneyland. I didn't even win the Super Bowl.
It's open. It's open now.
It's getting ready. No, not yet. Yeah, it will be, though, and I'll be one of the
first. Is the Star
guys.
Wars thing still there?
Everything, yes. They Star Wars. I hope so. I don't even know if Disneyland is still there, for gosh sakes.
Anaheim.
Did you learn any new trades or anything during the pandemic?
I'm working on a mean Alan Alda impression. You know who Alan Alda is? I love Alan Alda.
Of course I love. Come on, MASH.
I worked many years with Jamie Farr. Talented young man, Alan Alda. Alan Alda. I know he was on MASH, but I actually became enamored of Alan Alda when I watched the West Wing.
That was good.
Yeah.
West Wing was good.
Arnold Vinnick. Here's the kickoff field at about the 15. Dancing outside, 25-30. Got some space and brought down at the 45-yard line. Good tackle on the play by Karan Baldwin. And a nice start for Arlington. So a good job by their defense to kind of hold Ramona out of the end zone, Jeff, late in the first half. And now, starting here in the third quarter, they get a good start in terms of field position. You put the ball in the end zone, and you got a ball game here.
You definitely do. And I tell you what, that's a good way to start.
And it's all going to come back now, unfortunately. And that's the other thing about not having the full schedule of practices is you're going to get these little penalties. And we've seen penalties on both sides. We've seen Ramona get flagged on a couple,
yes.
One that took an interception away, and then we've seen Arlington get flagged on a bunch. This is going to go all the way back to where young Mr. Gomez fielded the football. That was on the 15-yard line.
I learned to decoupage, by the way.
Did you?
I did. I'm decoupaging everything. Tables.
Wildcat. Down at the 20. Gomez. Tackled by Reyes was on the play. I thought Ray Valdez got there first, though.
I think so as well.
Reyes always around the football for Ramona. So 1st and 10 from the 15. They move up to the 20. 2nd and 5 for Arlington. They've had some success with the Wildcat in the first half. Good adjustment there defensively by the new defensive coordinator, Aaron Berry, for the Rams.
You look at the size of those defensive ends, though, from Ramona.
A couple of big boys coming at you. Middle of the field, again to the 27. That's right there for the first down. The sticks move up. That's Isaac Gomez again. He's had some success running that middle.
I'm curious to know, Gazal, if we're going to see any new trends. Everybody's run the spread there for a while, or the double wing. I wonder if there's going to be any new trends in these 5 weeks that we'll see guys trying to get some wins here by, a little gimmicky stuff.
Third straight snap. We haven't seen the quarterback out. They had some success, we mentioned in the first half with the Wildcat, but it seems like Ramona has dialed that in. Gomez going for the third time. Remember as a kid watching pro wrestling when a guy went to the move like a third time, it'd say, he might have gotten one too many.
Yes.
So a 5-yard gain out to the 32. First down would be at the 37. So call it a 2nd and 5.
But it's nice to get the band back together, all the guys.
Trevor's here. Steve is here.
I didn't
Ryan
want Steve.
is here.
I didn't want Steve.
Why not?
He's shifty.
That's good, though. He knows what to do. If something breaks down, he can fix it.
He can do that.
Of course, Scott Brocious, our fearless producer. Little shovel pass. That was a dangerous play. Xavier Rideout was greeted as soon as he caught the football. Our good friend Pete Arbogast, who calls the games for USC, has a great line for that. How do you do? That's one of those how do you do plays.
Brought down by Valdez there.
Ray Valdez, that's what Coach Mashinsky was talking about with him. He said he's kind of, that strong safety, the hybrid position. He's a very short tackler on the defensive side. I guess that goes without saying. You wouldn't be tackling on the offensive side. So, clock moving. Under 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. Third down. First down up to the 37. Keeping it on the ground, staying up right, and getting close to the first down. I believe that's Gomez. Hurdling past the first wave, and they'll move the sticks with Arlington. Good pickup on third down for the Lions.
And brought down by Christian Martinez of Ramona. I just got a text from our guy, Ken Batdorf, saying, hey, he doesn't run the spread. We know, Ken Batdorf, you don't run the spread.
He doesn't?
No, he's never run the spread. He's only thrown 3 times in his entire coaching career, and he's been there for 107 years. And 2 of them are interceptions.
Gomez being chased. He'll throw the ball. Middle of the field, intercepted. I believe that was Reyes with the pick. Instead, with the pick, Karan Baldwin. Either way, a turnover, and Ramona has the football in Arlington territory.
Yeah, you and I were talking about Karan Baldwin at halftime.
Yes, we were. He's been around the football a good amount. Now, I was checking Mitchell Wood. He's on the sideline. Doesn't look like he's hurt or anything like that. Seems to be a strategic decision to run that Wildcat. They were building up to that pass. Obviously didn't work out for Jeff Roney, but sometimes when you're behind, you got to make those grand decisions. Muniz throws the swing pass out of the backfield. Good gain inside the 30. Tackle made by Arturo Carranza. Zach Shiner with the catch, and he's been in the weight room, you can tell. He was a slot guy last year for the Ram High. Looks like he's grown into a tight end.
And his mom, his mom is the softball coach at Ramona High School. In fact, they played Norco today. I heard that was a close game. Laura Shiner.
Here's the handoff. Dancing outside, close to a first down. Down near the 10-yard line. That was Ray Valdez carrying the football. Makes a nice play on defense, and then comes over and makes a play on the offensive side.
Got outside there.
Now, wasn't she also, Coach Shiner, isn't she a Ramona alum as well?
No, she coached football with Vinny Fazio.
I remember that, but I thought she went here as well.
I don't think Laura did. Did Laura go here? No, her husband was a Norte Vista guy.
Ooh, okay. Not good.
Not good.
You already brought up Batdorf, so we're getting in trouble.
Yeah, he's messing with me.
So a flag on the play. The ball goes back to the 31-yard line. First down inside the 20. Here's the give to Romo, this time running left. And Romo stopped at about the 23. Call it the 22.
But there is an alum coaching on the...
Sorry, more laundry on the field. Sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
The alum, Frank Berber, is coaching for the Rams. He played on the CIF championship team. His wife is the basketball coach at Riverside City College, Alicia Berber.
Bring it all together. She played D1 somewhere. Why is that name familiar
to me? Played at Washington State.
That's right. And again, another penalty against Ramona will bring that play back. So we've seen a lot of penalties on both teams to be expected, not
very
the
much
full amount of practices. Got to drive coaches crazy.
Yes. Drive me bonkers.
But I guess everybody has the same disadvantages, correct?
Yeah, they've literally, it's been like 2 weeks.
Here's the inside handoff to Romo, and again spins down at about the 34-yard line. Making the tackle is Arturo Carranza for Arlington. We've said his name a few times, the junior defensive back.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to work on tackling socially distanced.
Yeah. Very good point, Jeff. Very good point. That's why we keep you on the payroll.
Wrap him up. Wrap him up. No, 6 feet. It's 3 feet now.
Second down. Muniz looking to the right side. Trips on the right side of your screen, top of your screen. The receiver to the extreme top, that's Adrian Monhay. Looking for Monhay, but he'll throw inside. Instead, it's complete. Dancing all the way down. Touchdown, Ramona. No, they're going to say he's down. So Monhay, split out wide, makes the catch and gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. Looks like we have a Lion down on the play.
Monet's walking up kind of stumbling as well.
It's been a good matchup. Isaac Gomez and Adrian Monhay on the outside has been a very good matchup this evening, Jeff.
And a great pass. There's that middle of the field.
I mean, you brought it up, another look at it. Oh, looked like he kind of got the leg got twisted on the back end of that play. Never like to see that. You know, March is Athletic Trainer Month.
It is, yes.
It's good that all the good high schools have athletic trainers and sports medicine staffs. They're vital to athletic programs here in Southern California.
I believe in Riverside they still
Is the great Jim Clover still working?
Jim Clover. I was just going to go with the sport clinic, and he outsources these wonderful athletic trainers, and the great Jimmy Clover.
The two best Jim Clover stories I heard were from Pep, our friend Pep Fernandez. Is he doing his show now? Is he this weekend? Is he going to do it tonight?
Pep Fernandez is not. He's calling games in San Bernardino tonight. Okay. So no prep show for Pep here on Friday nights.
And then the other great Jim Clover story I heard is from Troy Percival, who is, of course, the former Angel, formerly head coach at UC Riverside Baseball. And nice to see Isaac Gomez walking off the field under his own power. He's a wonderful game tonight for Arlington.
Great stop there, too. See if they can keep him off the board.
So here we go. First and goal from the 1. 13-0 Ramona. Bruins in the backfield with Romo. This is Romo, and he's in. Touchdown, Ramona. No, they called him down. How about that? Looked like he broke the plane, but the line judge on the far side holding up 2 fingers, meaning second down. So good job on the left side of that defensive line for Arlington. Second and goal. This is Bruins. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Ramona. Second trip to pay dirt for Bo Bruins. Now he's a young man right now. He's a sophomore, but obviously if he could go play at UCLA, it'd be huge.
It'd be a good name.
A lot of opportunities for that, yeah. If they allow those imaging marketing rights to players, by the time he gets to, I mean, are you kidding me? Every shop in Westwood will have a poster of him. 19-0. The PAT attempt. They're going to go for 2. Here's the give to Romo. Second effort, leans in, and the 2-point conversion is successful. 21-0 in favor of Ram High with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the third quarter. Interesting at the end of that play. Romo with his left hand extends the football over the goal line.
I saw that.
What I learned this year watching the NFL is the Patriots are told not to do that. Because in the NFL, if you fumble the ball out of the end zone, it is an automatic touchback with the ball going to the defense. So Bill Belichick tells his players, do not extend the ball over the goal line.
He might have told them to extend it a couple times this year. Maybe. He should have.
Maybe. Well, it didn't work this year, right? Of course, Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. This time for the Tampa Bay Bucks and Bruce Arians. Good year for Tampa sports. Stanley Cup, Super Bowl, World Series finalists. They didn't win, of course.
Yes.
The Doyers won. 21-0 Rams. And Arlington will get the football back. And you get the feeling that they're just percolating to get the ball into the end zone.
percolating?
Yeah, they've been close a couple of times, and eventually the couple runneth over. Gomez back with Christian Bozeman to return the kick, but a short kick fielded at the 20-yard line. Nice change of direction. Getting to the outside, 35-40, turning the corner and finally met at about the 45-yard line. Carrying the ball, Matthew Maloney for Arlington. So more good field position. No flags as I can see. So the Lions will be near midfield to start down 21-0 with 5:01 to play. Call it the 47. That looked like Conrado made the tackle.
He did. I was just going to say, that was not a pacifist kicker right there. That was a tough hit.
So Mitchell Wood back at quarterback. Here's the give. Bozeman dancing outside, running with those knees up high. And Bozeman crosses into Ramona territory, very close to a first down. They'll give him the first down and move the sticks.
Nicky Chavez on the tackle there for Ramona.
Now, the trend, has gone away from the tall running back. Bozeman's a tall running back. He looks like, coming at you. Remember when we were kids, Eric Dickerson for the Rams?
I was just going to say.
Man, oh, man.
Remember those shoulder pads?
The goggles, the shoulder pads, the jerry curl, he had it all. I don't often get into internet arguments, but the first 4 years of his career, if you go back and look, that guy was unstoppable. Under 5 minutes to play, Wood dancing eludes a tackle. He'll get outside and step out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, another first down.
And there you go. That was the socially distanced tackle right there. That's how he was able to get by.
So they're going to mark. Yeah, they're going to mark it. Well, it looks like they marked it. So that should be. The stick should move up. I guess he's just short. Just need to get. Yeah, he's inside the 33. Need to get over closer to the 32. So call it second and very short.
Well, the chain gang could be a little rusty,
We don't have Yancey Dotson out there.
No.
Second down. Wood will just take it to the outside. Nice tackle made by Alex Martinez to clean that up. And no gain there, so third down coming up. How about that? Clock moving. 21-0 Ramona. So the matchup next week is Ramona and Norte Vista. Norte Vista, a dominant win. What's the line from Bull Durham? They announced their presence with authority against Patriot yesterday, 62-0.
Yeah, the Braves are we're hoping for a full season.
A wildcat and a first down from Gomez to the 30-yard line. Getting up from the bottom of the pile was Karan Baldwin for Ramona. So the sticks move up again for the Lions. But I was just saying, I'm not one of these guys. There are these guys that they thrive on getting into internet arguments.
Yes.
And so I was talking about Eric Dickerson, and I was saying, you look at the numbers for his first 4 years. They're unreal.
Yes.
And, of course, there's some old head comes in with Jim Brown, who I respect tremendously as a running back. But I said, you didn't see the point I was making. I said the only guy that come close to what Eric Dickerson did was Jim Brown. And here's the Bozeman, the other tall running back with a dance. About 3 yards inside the 30.
And there's Karan Baldwin again. The big hit to end the tackle there.
And so we've just gotten to the point in society when you praise one person, it's like you're disrespecting the other person, which is entirely not true. I was 12 years old. Eric Dickerson was the greatest running back I ever saw. And that stays with you, right?
Yes, exactly. See, I was a Ram fan. Of course I loved Eric Dickerson. I like Barry Sanders, too.
Yeah, Sanders is great. But,
But the big size, the sheer size.
Yeah, his speed, his size. You're playing on grass. There was no artificial turf.
Remember Marcus Dupree? Another one of those guys.
The best there never was. Wood loads it up and throws it down the field. He's got a man. Incomplete. Triple coverage on the play. Reed Van Lierop was racing down the field. Step for step with him was Martinez. instead. That was actually looked like Travis Hodson. 27, not 87. Either way, it's 3rd and 7. So it would be so big for Arlington just to get a score here.
It would be great.
Because they've been right here. This is where they've been. Of course, you give credit to the defense for Ramona. So 3rd down. 1st down would be to the 21. Little misdirection play. Middle of the line, and it'll be 4th down. Getting up. Mitchell Wood with the carry. So they spot it at the 26. So just outside the 20. Actually, the 27. So 4th and 7 coming up. They'll go for it here. Clock moving. We're closing in on 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Ramona 21, Arlington nothing. River Valley League opener for both teams. I'm Ghazal. He's Jeff. Thanks for hanging out with us. Riverside TV. Wildcat. This is Gomez. And he will not get it. Nice play down underneath. Richard Galvin grabbed hold of his calf and wouldn't let go. And Gomez couldn't go anywhere. Ball over on downs to Ram High. So we've seen a couple of missed field goals today and a couple of interceptions both ways. So maybe Jeff Roney figuring discretion the better part of valor. Give it to my Wildcat guy. But nice adjustment again. Ramona was allowing that play for yardage in the first half, and they cleaned it up a little bit.
They have
here
adjusted
in the second
well.
half. Yeah.
And a little cleaner than I thought it would be here in the second half. I thought guys would be gassing it, but I'll tell you, just the excitement of playing football, these guys could probably play all night.
1st and 10. And the give to the outside. About a 7-yard pickup on that play. Did a flag come in?
Yes, it did.
No, it looks like,
yeah. No call there, huh?
So ball to the 32. 1st down just inside the 35. Muniz to throw. Pressure, and he goes down.
Yeah, looks like Xavier right out with the tackle there.
And they had plenty of guys around the football. Tino Lilo Maivea on the play as well. But nice job by Rideout, who's been kind of around the football. A lot of these Arlington guys, Jeff, are playing both ways, though, so that warrants watching as you go further. Now, I think Coach Roney has managed it well, kind of keeping it between the tackles. 3rd down. Muniz over the middle. Catch at the 50. They say incomplete. Say it hit the ground. So 4th down coming up.
Let's see here on the replay. See if. Oh, can't really. It looks like he might have caught that. He might have a little argument there.
Punt team out. First time we've seen the Ramona punt team, I believe. So Christian Romo is the up back. Is that Monhay doing the punting? Black jerseys, a little harder to see. And Monhay puts a boot into it. Good kick. Bounce about the 32 and out of bounds at the 27. So a 41-yard kick, no return. It'll be Arlington football. Good job by the Arlington defense again.
Great. Both of these teams are doing pretty. Defensively, they've been fine. Offensively, it's been a little messy at times, but.
Now I remember Coach Roney would run the odd front with the 3-6-2.
Yes.
And I got into a deep conversation a couple years ago with our friend Vinny Fazio is a big proponent of the 3-5.
Yes,
you know,
wrote a book about it.
Yeah, and so it's and it's just a little bit of a different wrinkle that he runs it with. And Coach Roney came up under some good coaches. He worked with at Esperanza. He worked with Gary Meek, who's a legend in Orange County, and then I believe he was on Jeff Huerta's staff, right? At Riverside Poly. Yeah, so a couple of good defensive guys who know what they're talking about. 32 seconds to play here in the third quarter from the 29-yard line. Wood gives to Bozeman. Bozeman dancing, puts his foot on the ground, and pivots up to about the 39. So close to a first down for Bozeman as the clock continues to run. 21-0, Ramona leads Arlington here in the opener for both teams. Will they get a playoff? And they won't. They'll let the third quarter expire. 2nd and 1 when we come back at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Ramona 21. Arlington nothing. I want to thank some of our student volunteers today. First from Ram High, Esmeralda, Kyler, Alan, and Beatrice, all doing a great job. Scott Brocious mentioned they were doing a good job. He never does that.
Never.
Which means they're doing a really good job. And, of course, from Arlington High, Leon. Young Leon, we saw him earlier taking photos.
He had the biggest camera I've ever seen.
Hey, now.
He was walking around with the Hubble telescope is what he was walking around. It was around his neck, and I said, I thought he was going to fall on his head.
When we were children, there was a television show. I don't know if you ever watched it, Jeff. Oh. Does that Get Tested? Okay.
Yeah.
As students, teachers, coaches, and faculty members head back to practice and campus, let's make sure everyone stays safe from COVID-19. Fortunately, Riverside has numerous locations within the city to provide, at no cost, simple oral swab testing. You receive results within 24 to 48 hours. You can have them sent directly to your phone. Make sure you and your loved ones are healthy and stay healthy so we can keep it all moving in the right direction in the city of Riverside. For more information, visit riversideca.gov/testing. And I'll tell you what, I had friends who were trying to get tested in L.A. we couldn't find. I said, hey, if you go to Riverside, there's plenty of places to be tested.
Now, honestly, how many times have you been tested this year?
I've lost count.
I'd say close to 100 for me.
2nd down run. Here's the inside push. And some open field for Bozeman, trying to track him down from behind, and a touchdown-saving tackle inside the 25-yard line. Bozeman bursts for a 40-plus yard run, a little bit slow to get up, but a nice way to flip the field if you're Arlington.
And Nicky Chavez with the big come-from-behind grab nearly knocked the ball out of his hands.
Who was it was Don Beebe, right, in that Super Bowl with
That's
Leon
right.
Lett? Yeah, it was like the Don Beebe play. And not only did he make the tackle, had the presence of mind to try to sweep the ball, get it away.
He had a giant helmet, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
A huge helmet.
So officially call it a 46-yard run. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff, dancing, cutting back to the inside, and then trying to get outside up to about the 21. 4-yard pickup on the play for Matthew Maloney.
Yeah, Don Beebe had a bobblehead helmet.
They say when a child is young, 5, 6 years old, and they're running, you can tell the fast ones by how little the head moves.
Really?
So if like a 6-year-old can run really fast but he has to move his head, when he gets older he probably won't. But if there's a 6-year-old who can run really fast and doesn't move his head, when he's 12 or 13, he'll probably be one of the better athletes in the class.
I'm going to go line up my 3 sons.
There you go.
And see whose head is bobbling.
2nd and 5. Wood will keep it. Oh, that's a decleater. Coming up and making the hit was Isaiah Reyes. Ball pops loose, but they're going to say he's down. And that's not going to feel good in the morning.
No.
Reyes.
That's when you say, I wish I was playing soccer. That hurt.
Of course, Mitchell Wood's not going to let anybody know. He goes over and is talking to his coach right now and getting the next play. 3rd down coming up for Ram High. It's like the old Don Baylor. Remember when you got hit in the arm, you don't want to rub the arm, you just trot to first base?
Don Baylor was my favorite baseball player of all time.
The Angels, right?
Yeah, and he was the first guy to wear that neoprene, like sleeves, and I always thought it was like a Superman underneath there. Don Baylor. Late great Don Baylor.
Groove. That was his nickname. 3rd and 5. Handoff, Maloney again, lunging forward. Couple of yards on the play. Nice kick-out block, the lead block there by Gabriel Holland. The big boys up front for Arlington now digging in a little bit. Fourth quarter, fourth down, 21-7 Ramona. Big play coming up. And again, Arlington does a great job between the 20s. And as soon as they get inside the 20, Aaron Berry and the Ramona defense, they tighten the rim a little bit.
They tighten up that blue zone.
Yeah. Yeah, Ramona, you call it the blue zone. Very good, Jeff. Very good. Very good callback. So fourth down play. Bozeman to Woods left. Here's the give to Bozeman, going to the outside. Now cuts back inside, should have the first down. Ball inside the 15, and the clock will stop as they move the chains. Good job by Arlington. You don't have to get it all at once. It can be piecemeal, you know?
Yeah.
It's like eating an extra large crunch wrap. You do it methodically.
An extra large crunch wrap.
Adam Grossbard, who covers college basketball for the Southern California News Group, I'm sure you've met him at Riverside Games. Very nice man. He was tweeting from Indianapolis about Taco Bell not being open late. And I'm like, Adam, come on, bro. Good guy, though. Really good guy. Covered some high school football as well. Wood on the first down play, dancing. He's in trouble. Trying to get away, running to his right. Eludes Eka. And he'll make a play to the 5-yard line. How about Mitchell Wood running for his life and making a positive? Made a profit out of that one.
Man, what a great run. Probably the best run we've seen tonight. He was all over the place. He's got to come out of the game. He's so darn tired.
So the quarterback, he's done some nice running as the quarterback for Arlington. They've also had success mostly in the first half out of that Wildcat formation.
That's right, man. See if they go back to it here.
The big guy in the middle, Sami Abdul-Majid, they've kind of had their most success running inside up the middle. Gabriel Holland as well. We mentioned him on the last block. The big boys up front for Arlington. So second down. They can still get a first down here. Here's the give to Maloney. He's got a first down, and he's down inside the 5. And they'll stop the clock, and it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, just shy of the.
So they've moved.
Goal line.
We've seen some good stuff from Isaac Gomez. I like what I've seen. Christian Bozeman, Warhop, now Matthew Maloney, the junior running back. So first and goal, ball's at the 3. Jumbo backfield. Wood trying to navigate. A surge on the left side of that line and thrown back. They'll give him probably the line of scrimmage. Second down coming up. Clock continues to move here at Ramona High School. Under 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. I'm Ghazal. He's Jeff. We're just having a ball here.
It's nice. It's nice and cold up here. That's what makes me...
Football weather.
That's great football weather. We got Halloween coming up. Wait. Oh, that was the fall. We are now...
Yeah. You feel just like a fiend. Wasn't even close to Halloween, Jeff. Remember that one? Third Ward in Houston. Second down coming up. Tino Lilamaiva in as the fullback. Bozeman to the left of Wood. Low snap they give to Bozeman. And he's met immediately. I believe that was Ika Isau who made the initial contact, and third down coming up.
Yes, it was.
Ken Mashinsky, very effusive in his praise of Isau. Said showed up in really good shape. Timeout on the field. Mentioned Ramona got to the final last year in Division 13. They ended up losing 42-40 to Esperanza, coached by our old friend Wes Choate, who used to be at San Bernardino. And he played for Gary Meek at Esperanza, as did Jeff Roney. I don't know if they were there together, but they're both part of that old Sunset League, classic,
Yeah.
Esperanza, Edison, Los Alamitos, Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach. It was just they've changed it around because I think Newport Harbor's in the Sunset now. But that used to be the public school. It was that league and the Moore League down there.
Yep.
And obviously up here it was, Fontana, Riverside, Poly. Those were the powerhouses in the 90s. Ike, Eisenhower.
Oh, man. Those were great games. I remember my father took me to a Fontana Eisenhower game when I was a kid.
Well, Ike won a couple of years, I think. And then Fontana, they won in the late 80s. But they were always kind of around. I talk to Vinny Fozzi about this all the time. That run late in the 90s with Mater Dei and Long Beach Poly, there was always, Redlands or Fontana.
Yes.
There was always they would knock off some team from the Inland Empire. Eisenhower and Mater Dei played it's been almost 30 years now. I think 91, Mater Dei beat Eisenhower. Then 93, Eisenhower walloped Mater Dei.
I remember the Eisenhower days with Ronnie Lott.
That's right.
Great basketball player. Played for Billy Cardosi's dad as a basketball player.
Here's the Wildcat. Gomez trying to find the end zone. Kenny, it'll be 4th down. He stopped short of the goal line. So the big boys in the front for the defense of Ramona. Richard Galvin in there. We mentioned Ika Esau earlier.
He was the first guy in that was Issa.
So 4th and goal. We've seen this so many times. Arlington would just love to cross that threshold into the end zone. They've moved the ball pretty well, Jeff, between the 20s. When they get to the red zone is kind of where they have their trouble.
That's a bit of an issue.
Now, obviously, you can look at the film here, and these are things you can work on if you're the Lions. Last win for the Lions came in October of 2017. Maloney the setback. Gomez out of the Wildcat. He'll keep it. Gomez lunges forward. Is he in? Touchdown, Arlington. And you got to feel good for Isaac Gomez, who's been Mr. Everything for Arlington. Finally tastes pay dirt for the Lions with 4:46 remaining in this one, Jeff.
Yeah, great effort, great game from that young man. Been all over the field.
So I wonder, do you go for 2 here? Of course, yeah, they're sending out Mitchell Wood. And I've been impressed by young Mitchell Wood as well tonight.
He's been all over the place. He's going to have a tired Saturday morning. He's going to feel like, hey, this football's back.
It'll feel good, though. It'll feel good to have been on the field.
Yes.
2-point conversion attempt coming up. Wood rolling right. He's got a man, but he's being pursued. To the pylon he goes. Oh, and what a hit. Stopped just short is Mitchell Wood. Oh, they're going to say he's in. Wow.
Gave it to him.
No, he. I guess we were joking about not extending the football.
Yeah.
He must have gotten the football over the pylon. We'll get a look at the replay momentarily.
Boy, he's been great going outside all night long. I mean, here, especially in the second half.
He's in. That was the touchdown.
Yeah,
now let's look at the conversion.
Here's the conversion. Let's see. Yeah, got his hand.
No, he got
yeah.
See, and that's presence of mind. In basketball we talk about muscle memory.
Yes.
He knew he was going to take a lick, but he wanted to make sure he got the ball into the end zone, and he did just that. That's what you want out of your quarterback. That's a leader your team is going to rally behind, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, I'd have that guy play for me any day of the week. What a toughness about him.
21-8, Ramona with the lead. Arlington, though, has just gotten into the end zone. And so let's see here. Are they setting up for the onside? Taylor Damasio in to kick it away. Hands team out there. Let's see what happens. A little squibber. Fielded easily. And they'll kneel down at the 43-yard line. Will Ramona. I guess the game Roney's playing is, the defense has been okay.
They have been.
So you get a stop here, and then the second score is when you think about the onside. Especially because you've made the 2-point conversion already. You've made one. So let's see what Ramona decides to do. I would guess we're going to get a steady diet of Bruins and Romo running behind those big boys up front the rest of the 5 minutes that are left here. I would be shocked if they decided to throw the ball. Bruins picking his way. Couple of yards. The right out was in on that tackle. Clock continues to move towards 4 minutes. Ball to the 46. The Rams were the third-place team in the River Valley League last year, and they rode all the way to the Division 13 final. This is the handoff to Romo. He runs right into the hands of Sami Abdul-Majid, and he's taken down. And the clock continues to move. It's a third down.
By a Pride.
Pride of Lions. Very good.
I think you and I went over this one time. We were talking about all the different animal.
The pack, the wolf pack, and the murder of crows.
Yes, that's, a gaggle of geese.
Yeah. 3.5 to play, and flags fly, and the clock stops.
I don't know why there aren't more geese as mascots. That's the one thing that plagues me. You can give me, I'd fight almost anything except a gaggle of geese.
Too many bulldogs, too many wildcats, right?
Yes.
I think those are the two most popular nicknames. 5-yard mark-off on the offside against Arlington, so now a 3rd and 3. A big play coming up defensively. Single back. They take a shot here now. They're going to give the ball to Romo. He'll have a first down. So that penalty really hurts. Sticks move for Ramona. Clock will stop momentarily at 3:06. Amato looks pretty good today, huh? Another look at that play.
Gotta love Ram High.
Again, running the middle of the offensive line. The anchor is their center, Jason Lopez. And again, Amari Wiley making a auspicious debut at left tackle for Ken Mashinsky. Remember, didn't play last year. He was a baseball guy, but his dad, offensive line coach, and played here. So he said, son, we're going to play some football.
I get to see you every day, so we're playing football.
1st and 10. Line is the 43 of Arlington. Right up the middle goes Romo. Right into the hands of Abdul-Majid. Little help at the end of the play from Arturo Carranza. So closing in on 2 minutes. 5-yard pickup on the play. So we didn't get to handicap it before we started here, but how about, so Novi's got to be the favorite, right?
I would imagine so. They have everybody back.
Is Ramona right there? Like Ramona's like in terms of people who could maybe knock him off. Ramona is there.
Anytime you're in the CIF championship the year before, you have to put them in the mix, and we'll know it right away next week.
Yeah, that's week 2. They'll go right after Novi.
Got
2nd and 5.
You got the Elaine train.
Romo gets pushed back, and the clock continues to move. 3rd down coming up. They'll give him the line of scrimmage.
These two teams have played so many times. You got the series history right here.
There you go. Well, this is only since 2001. But, I mean, Arlington dominated for a long time. The last couple of years, it's been a Ram High affair. You could probably go back to the 80s.
Oh, we
dominated. What was the rival?
Domination. We had Ors Stekovich was a great head football coach here. And then you had Don Markham. Markham was a successful coach here at Ramona.
Was he big at another school too, Jeff?
He was big at Bloomington.
That's right.
He was big everywhere.
The end around. Here's the handoff. This is the big play here. He's close to a first down. Let's see if he got it. No, it's 4th down. But the clock continuing to move, and timeout now from Arlington. So 45 seconds left to play. It's a 4th down play. What do you do if you're Ken Mashinsky here?
Get the first down.
Yeah, I think you just hand the ball off.
Yep.
at the 34-yard line. You're very close to that first down. It's less than a yard. Just go get it. And if they stop you, they stop you. You tip your cap. Jeff Roney, the head coach, in his third year here at Arlington. Previously, he was a defensive coordinator under Rich Lunsford. And before that, back in 2013 and 2014, bought some Roney ball to La Sierra. Shook up the River Valley League a little bit.
Yes, he did.
A little bit. Of course, the dean of coaches here is your friend Ken Batdorf at Norda Vista.
He's a fossil.
He's not very nice.
You call him the dean. I call him the fossil.
The dean, yeah.
Yeah, no, Ken Batdorf is the fossil of Norda Vista High School.
He's got young assistants, though, right?
No, he's got Andy Martinez. He's more of a fossil than Ken Batdorf.
Running the defense there. He ran the defense at Hillcrest for a little bit. Now he's back at Novi.
Yeah.
4th and 1. Bruins with the first down. And that'll do it. Bruins getting pushed back. And young Bo Bruins with a very nice debut for Ramona. Sophomore running back. A little bit of a change of pace.
Got a couple good backs.
As I'm saying, is Romo kind of is the more physical one, and Bruins is the more elusive kind of shifty running back.
We can't go thunder and lightning. We got to think of something different next time we call these guys.
Carmel and Nougat go together very well.
Pumpernickel and Rye.
I would never have Rye and Pumpernickel together, though.
You just go one top, one bottom.
Rye and Russian dressing work very well. You mentioned over the pandemic, one thing I learned to do is make my own Russian dressing.
You don't know how to, you know what, though? Russian dressing is just Thousand Island, isn't it? Come on. Get with a little ketchup in it. Is that what it is?
It's a little bit. The horseradish to me is the key.
Have you ever been to Utah and had some fry sauce?
I have not. I've been to Utah, but I've not had fry sauce.
Anytime you go, come on. Because next time you go through Utah, I want you to go to any fast food place, order your French fries, and say, "Give me some fry sauce."
Okay.
It's just like Russian dressing.
I was in Orem, Utah in March of 2019 for the CBI, so I should have done it then. But I will. I remember that.
I just got a text from Ken Batdorf.
21-8 is the score here. Ramona leads Arlington, the first game for both teams. So the Rams will win their third straight against Arlington and start 1-0. Arlington efforting their first win since October of 2017. Remember, the 2020 season was not played this fall.
Yes.
So we are in 2021, but this is, in essence, the 2020 season.
And I think they're going to get a win this year. I think Arlington's going to get a win.
Yeah, look, I've been impressed. They got some talented players, so we hadn't really seen anything until today. And here's victory formation for Ram High, and they'll kneel down.
You know what? I shouldn't have called him a fossil. I should have called him.
I said that's not very nice.
I should have called him an ancient one.
The rhyme of the ancient mariner when it comes to Riverside football, right?
I like that. We'll call him the ancient mariner.
Handshakes, and the clock is dilapidating, winding down to zeros. And there'll be the handshakes at midfield, 21-8. You know, there was a controversy. Should you shake hands? Should you not? I think it's a great tradition. At the end of every game, you go shake your opponent's hand.
I do. And let's see if they walk. They're just going to walk by and wave. It'll be a walk.
That's good. I mean, it's a good way to do it.
It is.
And the cool thing is, on the football field, you know exactly how far 6 feet is.
Yeah.
So
they're socially shaking hands, socially distancing.
So we had some great stuff happen tonight. We had high school football, a win for your alma mater, so you're happy.
Of course.
Calling a road game with you, I imagine it's like when Dave Pasch calls a UCLA game with Bill Walton. That's how I imagine it, because you're just so happy and effusive about everything.
Yeah, but I have to be neutral. But I'm not, though. I'm really not.
Well, you're neutral, but you're enthusiastic. It's good.
I am.
It was great to see the cheerleading and the dance teams out there, because there was a question up until the last minute if they would be able to participate. Great to see both of them on the field as well, Jeff.
Yeah, it was great. It was nice to see families and people together again. You know, it was enough. I see myself too much. I saw you a couple times during the pandemic. But good golly, it is wonderful seeing families and the community coming back together during a difficult time.
High school football is back in Riverside. The CIF Game of the Week, our first edition here in 2021. 21 for Ramona, 8 for Arlington, a win for Ram High. We're back with you next week. Until then, for Jeff Gorham, I'm Ghazal Hassan. I want to thank our entire crew today. executive producer Scott Brocious, Ryan, Trevor, Steve.
Steve, I don't know about Steve.
And then our volunteers today, Leon from Arlington, Esmeralda, Kyler, Alan, and Beatrice from Ramona High, and they are coached by Mr. Nottingham. He's the production teacher here at Ramona High School.
He's the sheriff.
Final thoughts, Jeff?
It was nice. Like I said, great to have these two teams going at it. Ramona, taking off where they left off, having such great success, and it's nice to see that Arlington is really starting to build up, and I think they're going to have success this season.
For Jeff Gorham and our entire award-winning Riverside TV crew, my name is Ghazal Hassan. The final score tonight, Ramona 21, Arlington 8. Talk to you next week. So long, everybody.